Hey everyone. So in Tokyo, I've been away for a couple of days. I was on international trips. I was in Singapore emceeing an event there called the Asia Spelling Cup, where I got a chance to meet a lot of young kids that are learning English from all around Asia. And then I got back from the YouTube Creators Summit in Seoul, Korea, and I learned a lot of stuff when I was there. Now the people who go to this Creators Summit, which is right here, you can see on this book they gave me one of this, I guess, swag stuff that they all get. It's like there's only in Japan on the top right here. Most of these creators, in fact all of them, I think are in the top 1% of all the YouTubers like in the world, if not in the Asia Pacific region, and I'm in that, I guess, 1% in the Asia Pacific region. A lot of the YouTubers that are in the Asia Pacific region, they're growing very quickly as YouTube grows as a platform, and it was pretty exciting to see. But for me, I got a chance to meet with some executives from YouTube, but I also got a chance to meet YouTubers and talk to them that are really successful. And I mean like the top YouTube creators. It's hard for me to see chats because it's so bright and so hot outside. I always try to do Only in Japan Go streams on location. I have another iPhone that I'm looking at the comments, so I might look down here every now and then just to see how you guys are doing. What's up? Linda B, Vaughn, Alexandris, Nosha Broad is here as well. Amanda, lots and lots of questions that I got. But one of the ones that I got over and over again from young creators in particular, people who are starting up their YouTube channels, is how much work is it? How much work does it take to make a YouTube video, to be a YouTuber, and to reach the next level? This is something that was really hard, I think, for a lot of creators, actually, even right now in Tokyo, that are stuck on like 10,000 subscribers or 5,000 subscribers. How do they break out and get to like the 100,000 and get that award? This channel that you're watching on the Only in Japan Go channel, believe it or not, is going to surpass the 100,000 subscriber mark probably sometime next month, because we add on an average of about 6,000 subscribers per month. And I'm going to give you some insight into this channel, a live streaming channel, as well as my main channel, which has, I think, 850,000, 800 and something thousand subscribers, and we should pass 100,000 subscribers this year, I think in around December at this current pace. So, a lot of you are watching for the simple question, what does it take to be a top? I don't consider myself a top YouTuber. I can't, because I think that's something that you guys will decide. I think that's something that analytics will decide. But for me, one of the things it takes to be a top YouTuber is maybe not to admit that you're a top YouTuber, and always know that you have to continuously evolve your channel. Even when you have something that you think is a successful recipe, which I tried to make before I even started Only in Japan, which you can see in my question and answer 2 years ago. I made a 360 question and answer on the main channel. I answered a lot of the questions like why I started this YouTube channel. I don't want to get into that. I want to go directly into this. You always consistently have to evolve your channel. That means you have to think about what makes a better experience for the viewer. And it's never about you, it's always about the viewer. Now, of these creators that I met in Seoul, I mean, there's a lot of them. Last Day Productions, YDTV. These are all over Asia, so you might not have heard of any of these. Yumcast, English, Kazu, Poo Poo, PEW, Pow Pow Channel. These are people that I got a chance to meet, some more than others. Picnically, which is a really good channel in the US. They're very nice. Michelle, DY, Bill and Billy. Ray Do English from Taiwan. He's got, I think, 2.7 or almost 3 million subscribers. So these are people that are at the top of this. Simon and Martina, of course, who I'm friends with. And you ask them, like, what, when we're sitting down at dinner and we're sitting down, or having drinks or waiting for new events to start, when you go to a summit like this, you have a time to talk with the people around you. And for me, this was the most valuable thing, because me as a creator, we have 860,000 subscribers. I believe that's how many we have on the main channel, and I'm really trying to get to the 1 million mark, to stay fresh, to always innovate. But for me, and this is important now, we're in 4 minutes into it, every single YouTuber has a different style, has a different theme, has a different way to make their videos, has a different structure, and no one way is better than another. But I can tell you one thing, the way I make my videos is awful. It's stinks for this platform. Only in Japan main channel stinks for this platform because it requires a lot of work. And I'm going to tell you why. When people ask me to hurry up and make an episode, I simply can't do it. And this is the bad thing about the Only in Japan main channel, but it's also the good thing. All right, let me tell you why it's a good thing. And it's really hot out here. It's a good thing because it's going to be hard for other people to imitate what I do. You got to be original. You have to be original on YouTube. You cannot copy someone else's style. I think it was Dan Mace, who's a YouTuber in South Africa. He just put out a video I think that you should see where a company made a PR video for Turkey. And then everybody went on and tried to imitate that same style that that video did. It was such an original new way of looking at videos. And after that, none of those videos seemed to have an impact because the one video that was done in that format is the original. That's the way, that was a trend that he set. The way I made my show in 2013, nobody was making, well, I can't say nobody, but YouTube was a platform where people would do a vlog, a VLOG, a daily life video. And you can watch all of the other YouTubers in 2003. Look at the popular YouTubers' videos before 2013. They're mostly vlogs, like this is what I'm doing today. I didn't want to do that. I totally wanted to change the way that that people looked at YouTube. I seriously wanted to change the way that YouTube was done, but it required a lot of work. That means I had to use my background in television production, as a reporter for NHK World, as somebody who knew how the flow of videos go professionally. And I knew because if I could do this, then I have a bigger chance at getting people to see the value in what I do, as well as maybe find sponsors down the road because the content will be at a higher level. I always want my stuff to be at the highest level. That means it is sort of a competition. You always have to make better YouTube videos. You always have to compete against other people. These aren't your enemies. These might be your frenemies, but the other YouTubers are also resources for you to learn, because when you compete, other people will compete, and then they will raise the quality of their content, and you yourself must do it if you want to stay on top. It's always a battle to innovate. You may have established a brand, but you always have to battle. That's the hard part. The con. So the pros for me to make this is that it was very hard for anybody to imitate Only in Japan style because it's so hard to make. Why is it so hard to make? Continue to watch this and I'm going to explain the process that I use to make my videos. Now, the cons to making this is that it's too hard to make. I have on my shoots, I usually have 3 cameras. I try to use professional, let's see here. I try to use professional quality audio. You can see this is a Sennheiser 600 MKE mic plugged in through an XLR port, which is right here. You can take this off. You don't have to use this, but the quality of the audio is better if you have it on an XLR port because you're receiving a higher frequency of audio. This mic is really good, but it's really big. It's cumbersome. It's heavier. The GH5 is the go-to camera that I use. It's got a smaller sensor, but for most of the that I do, I don't have to. I don't need a full-frame sensor, and it's about what you need, not not the size of the sensor. It's about what you need to get the job done. Because this is smaller, I can add things like this to it, which makes it bigger, which kind of destroys the point of YouTube. That's my main camera. I have a GH4, which is the last generation camera. Both of these can do 4K video at a very high quality. I like the Micro Four Thirds because you have smaller lenses. I can fit 3 lenses for the size of like 1 Canon lens, okay? That's why I prefer the Micro Four Thirds. I got a wider range of lenses, and the quality of the video is good enough for what I'm doing. I export in HD, even though 4K would be better, but the HD experience by editing 4K video is better than just doing a simple 4K video with the way that I do it. Plus, television is not at 4K yet. So, with that, that's a con to the style that I do it. I have drones. I have a GoPro that I just clip onto areas. I'm gonna show you the kit that I use. I have this, which I'm gonna show you, which is a stabilizer for the GH5. It's a total pain in the neck to set up. It takes forever to balance before you can shoot something. So a location shoot that I go on can take hours and hours and hours. And in fact, the Aogashima video that I produced last summer it literally took every single day that I was there. So it was an 8-day shoot. Literally, I was there for more than 8 days, but it was an 8-day shoot, and every day it was filming something because it just took so long to set up to make a professional quality video. Now, is it professional quality? I don't know. It's the best that I can do and the closest I can come because it's just me. And this is another con of the way I make the videos. I don't have a team. I don't have anybody who edits the videos for me. I don't have a cameraman. And a lot of you may think that this is a really good thing and that I'm a one-man band and stuff, but this is an awful thing because that means I restrict the amount of time that I can do other things. I have a hard time completing really massive big projects like the hitchhiking DVD project, which has been ongoing for a year because I simply cannot keep up with it, and it creates so much stress around me that I need somebody to help me offload some of the work. And I'm looking into that right now. I'm looking into editors and cameramen and ways that I can help to streamline this process. And that's the evolution process that I'm talking to you about. You always have to continuously evolve the way that you make videos so that you can compete. At this level, I can't compete because my shoulders have so much on it right now. I can't really do too many new things. And this is the biggest challenge, I think, that all of the YouTubers... All right, so let me go back to this. And I'm going to start looking at the questions. All of the YouTubers that I met there, they were YouTubers that were almost at 1 million. There were YouTubers at 1 million. One YouTuber hit 1 million when we got their subscribers. And then there are YouTubers that are like 3, 4, and I met a few from 10 million subscribers. When you hear what it takes to get to the next level, it requires you to trust other people and to build a team around you. And that's what I'm doing right now, to build a team behind me to make sure that the Only in Japan channel can go to that next level and fulfill all of your expectations. 2 videos a month isn't going to cut it anymore. It was something I could do maybe in 2013, but now in 2018, I got to get more out there. I got to get more content out to you. I have to get find a way to make the quality better, to make it snappier, but still give you that really high quality background, access, interviews, inside looks at things that some YouTubers will just like explore on the surface. Hi, I'm in Harajuku, that's great. But so what? Tell me about Harajuku. Why is it important? Why would you go there? What is the value to going there? What are the downsides to going to Harajuku? What are some of the things that you can buy there? Are these the best places that you can buy the same things, or can you buy the same things at different places? You have to ask yourself all these questions, and that's what I do with the Only in Japan channel. I ask questions of myself when I make the video production, and this goes to the third thing. Don't try to count how I'm listing this. This is completely off of the top of my mind. The third thing is that you have to plan. How much time does it take to be a top YouTuber? It takes a lot of time. These are not easy. This is easier because it's a live stream, but I actually kind of planned this out and outlined what I was going to talk to you about today. And the simple outline keeps me somewhat on target. It's a live stream and I'll go all over the place, but that's the fun thing with the live stream. Anything can happen. So you got planning. So I start off with an idea. Everything starts off with an idea. You might give me an idea from Patreon. I get a lot of ideas from Patreon. By the way, Patreon now is most of the leading part of my income comes from Patreon. All the support, not all this, but most of the support comes through Super Chats and Patreon. I gotta be honest with you, the main channel does not make as much money as you think it does, but Super Chats, that's right, Shuichi Takami, no worries, John, your content is always amazing and keep us coming back, thank you. Should the people of Hawaii go through Hurricane Lane, stay safe out there. I also know about the wildfires going on in the Northeast in the US, but our global audience is all over the world right now, and there's stuff going on everywhere, including a typhoon that passed through Korea, and that same typhoon, I believe, passed through Tokyo before I arrived. I had an amazing amount of turbulence yesterday, so thank you very much for letting us all know that there is a typhoon or a hurricane going in through Hawaii. I believe it's a typhoon since it's the Pacific, but I hope everyone in Hawaii is staying safe. The amount of planning that it goes through each episode that I make of Only in Japan, you guys just don't know, and you underestimate it badly. A lot of people underestimate how much work it is required. I'm sorry, there's so much heat now. The stabilizer might be cutting off, sorry. There's so much... Uh-oh. Yeah. There's so much planning that goes into live streaming that I'm sorry, not live streaming the main episode. I'm just trying to fix the gimbal. Hold on a second. Give me a second. It's okay. I can do it this way. There you go. So much goes into each of the episodes that it's totally underestimated how much work I actually put into it. You guys just don't know. It starts off with an idea, okay? The next thing I do is I storyboard it and I write a script. I do this for 85% of the videos that I make. Sometimes the script is in my head because the topic is short and I know exactly what I want to do, but I plan it all out because I need to get the shots. When I go on a location shoot, I almost always ask for permission on the main channel. That means I have to call in advance the location and schedule a time. When I schedule a time, it's hard for me to schedule these live streams because I'm not sure when exactly they want me to go, and quite often the scheduled times will change 30 minutes or an hour or 2 hours or even the next day. So I have to keep my schedule very open to that. Okay, so I've scheduled it after writing a script. Then I present the script to the location and then make sure that they're cool with everything that I do. After that, I prepare, I plan, I get my camera out, I get, if I have to take the drone, I take the drone, and I'm going to show you at the end all the bags and equipment that I have to make each one a success. 90% of the videos that I produce, I'm the cameraman, I'm the audio guy, and we have trouble sometimes because nobody's there to confirm it, but I prepare all of the things. Okay, so now I'm there on a location shoot. Now, I gotta set up, I have to record the opening, I have to record a closing, I have to do every single shot. Sometimes I gotta do time lapse, sometimes I have to do stabilized balanced shots, which is on a massive stabilizer that I use that takes forever to balance this camera. Then I gotta take this camera off, I have to make sure that the lenses are proper, I have to mic up interviews and make sure that the audio quality is good, confirm the audio quality because I can't be there to actually check the audio quality while it's taking place. After I finish that, I have to kind of confirm that the audio quality is good and that the picture is good and there's nothing flickering in the background. Sometimes there is because I can't check all of that. After that, I got all of these videos collected. I often put a second camera, which is called a cutaway. And I like to cut away because sometimes when people speak in interviews or I speak even in the opening, I can use a shot of me behind where you can't see my lips, and I'll be talking, but I've already cut it, and you can't see where I cut it because I cut another image from behind or from another angle, and then you can't see where I cut. It's a more professional thing to do with your videos instead of the jump cut, and then it just like, there's no transition. I try to do it with other cameras and magic by taking video from behind me and from places where you can see my mouth, etc. Or if I'm interviewing someone, I'll take a picture, I'll have a camera looking at me, nodding, and I'll have a picture of him just nodding or her just nodding, and I can cut that in and put the cuts to make my audio better. And I got to think about this when I'm making the production. So then I got all of these raw ingredients. I have SD cards from this. Often I have about 150 gigabytes with this camera on a location shoot. I have about 30 or 40 gigabytes on the GoPro as a B camera. I sometimes use my iPhone and I have about 15 gigabytes off of the iPhone. These are all 4K sizes. I have a drone, sometimes that's 3 or 4 gigabytes off of there depending on how much I used it. So all of these cameras, I put it into a file and I sort it by the folder GoPro, GH5, Mavic Pro, and iPhone 7, and I put that all into a folder and I'll call it day 1, day 2, day 3, and then I'll put that into another folder putting project file, whatever it was, whether it's Japanese sandwiches or, guess what's an episode, Capsule Hotel, for example. Now, I've got all the files into it, I start the editing process, and this is the longest and hardest process because I first cut everything up, put it together, and then I watch it and see if it's good enough. And then I often change everything. I'll change the format. I'll make segments that are 2 minutes, 2 minutes, 2 minutes, 2 minutes to make it like flow. I have to give insight into things that might be useful. Sometimes I will miss something that I should have filmed, but I didn't think about it. When I watch the video, I realize that I have to go back on location and do some insert shots so I can get more stuff to give you as much information as possible. This is my workflow. This is why it's a con. I'm still on that. So the editing it could take anywhere between 3 days. I've done it, the fastest was 36 hours for the 2020 Olympic video, was the fastest turnover I ever did. But it takes me anywhere but 3 days to a week. So the most videos I could put out there is like 2 per month if I continue working by myself. Maybe 3, but I'm really tired and burnout is an issue. with all YouTubers. You also need time to take walks. I gotta take my wife on dates. Don't ever forget your family, and don't ever forget to sleep. Because as soon as you start losing sleep and you start abusing your family because of YouTube, and I always sometimes think that because now she's a part of the live streams and she's cool about it, but I also have to remember my wife's privacy and that she needs time for herself and we need time for ourselves. That's the most important time. And when you have everything in balance and you find a team to help you, then you can start cranking out more. And that's what the difference is between me and other YouTubers. Other YouTubers have a very good, and I'm gonna answer the super chats, I'm sorry. It's hard for me to see the screen right now. Once you find a good balance, that's when things start to purr, and that's when you become a YouTuber with 3 million subscribers and a YouTuber with 10 million subscribers. I want to tell you something. Of the YouTubers that I met, 95% of them have help either as a cameraman, which is a huge help, or as an editor, which is the biggest help because that requires the longest amount of time. Every single editor has this process going on to help them with their flow, so they can get more videos, longer videos, more better pace with their videos, and more frequency, so they get more subscribers more quickly and they get featured more on YouTube. And that's the secret. The secret is when you get to a certain level, you have to invest in yourself and make your videos like a business almost. You need the income. Without Patreon and your super chats and the ad revenue that comes in through this channel and the main channel, I don't have enough money to even think about starting an office with the same kind of things that the other YouTubers have. I believe so strongly in my channel and my ideas from 2013 and the base of the brand of Only in Japan and the way that I make the show where it's a little bit more mature mostly than other YouTubers, or I can look at things more in depth than other YouTubers and give that value to you. That's when I can start to grow the channel, and that's when I'll be able to get out of this like 100,000s and get into the millions. At least I hope so. Because I know that a lot of you are interested in Japan, which is one of the reasons why you're watching, and I know some of you might even be interested in me, which I know because people are so nice to say hi and you're leaving comments here behind, so I really appreciate that. Let me go back in here and look at some of the super chats here. StanGirl70, do you ever record B-roll just for the heck of it? Yes. It might be handy to have a library on it or handy for transitions. I talked to one YouTuber from Canada who is very big, she used to be a very big YouTuber here, and she told me that she deletes everything after she uploads the video, and I was just shocked at that. Every single video that I've ever made is on a hard drive and archived, and when I can, I back it up onto another hard disk and I put that all in a closet just as a backup. Archives is the best way for me to make top 10 videos. It's the best way for me to make add extra things into videos that you see. You've seen a lot of the B-roll. In the last episode, I had the square watermelon farming. My B-roll was of another video of me cutting it up, and I put that in as a separate episode. I used that because I had that on my archives for 2 years. So archives and B-roll is huge to any YouTuber. Never delete anything that you make unless it's just something that is like a take two or something, or you're just not going to use it, or the exposure's bad, or you made a mistake. You can delete all that, but keep everything that is of value, especially B-roll. Oh man, I can't tell you how important that is, because it costs money to go on location to a site, and money is the one thing that we have the least of. And subscribers for some people, but even now I think we could do better. We can get the message out more. So, awesome question. I have a library of it on my desk. I have 6 terabyte drives I buy. They're now the cheapest for the space that they give. They're hard disks. I get Western Digital blacks because the blue ones have failed too often. So I get Western Digital blacks. By the way, it was a blue drive that failed is one of the biggest reasons why I'm struggling with the hitchhiking DVD, because I lost 1 day of data and I'm trying back. Sorry, got a little bit of a heat problem out here. Seriously, it's freaking hot out here. I don't have too much more to say about this, but let me just pick off where I left off, which was where. I don't know. Had to wait like a few minutes to get out here, but all right. Basically, let me just make it a short. So I got to do a lot of things to make each episode. When it's done, I rewrite script, I narrate it, I put it in the boxes. Sometimes I have to make the video longer, shorter to fit the story that I want. There's a couple, space boats going by, but I'm just gonna stick on the story. By the end of it, it's taken me a week. The product looks really good. I'm comfortable with it. I will go in and make sure that the audio levels are good enough. I try to, after each narration, I make sure that I get rid of any background static, and I put in transitions so that it levels out and levels back in, so then when you hear my narration, it doesn't sound like I did it with an unprofessional system. I just use a mic at home that I have with a spit guard to make sure that there's no psh and tss in it. In the end, I think I have a pretty comparable project to something that might be on TV, and it's something that you can look good and feel good about, and the information is good enough where it can be used as a journalistic piece, even for CNN and BBC and other news networks, which ask me for B-roll for their projects all the time. And sometimes I get a little bit of a fee. I usually charge, I don't know, between 15,000 yen to 30,000 yen, depending on the organization and how they use it. If it's a main part of their thing and they're using several minutes of it, I'll charge 50,000 yen for them to license it. A lot of the people do not give you track back. I had to send a copyright infringement to about 150 people that downloaded my video illegally and then uploaded it. YouTube has a tool now where I can see anybody who's uploaded my video and matched it, and I can copyright them and they will get a strike. And I hate anyone who does that. If you don't have the originality to put up your own content, do not use mine, because I put a lot of work into this. I put a lot of work in each episode. I put a lot of love into it. I love it. It's like a chef. The chef's got to love the ingredients and love the final product, and it's got to taste good for the eater, or else they don't come back. So every time I make a video, it has to have ingredients, and it has to have a taste and a feel to it that I just love, that I would want to watch, that I would want my family to watch, that I want your family to watch. That's why I do this, and that's why I believe I have the success that I have right now. And that's what you should consider when you make a YouTube video, because it takes a lot of work, and you should understand young people. I'm thinking of the young people now, because it's the young people who think that they want to be a YouTuber and they think it's really easy, but it's not. It's an actual job, everybody. It's harder than the job where you sit in the office. The people who sit in the office sometimes don't respect the YouTubers. That's fine. You don't have to respect the YouTubers that are just vlogging like this and not really putting much time in it. But if I make a video, I cannot finish it in one day. I cannot finish it in 2 days. It takes me almost a week. It takes me longer depending on the project. It takes me longer depending on the length and the topic and how good I want it to look. It's a job. YouTube's a job. So what type of time requirement is required? It requires your everything. It requires all of the assistance that you can get from people, for the budget that you can accumulate, from the support that you can get back from your community, and from what you can give back to them to make it grow. I'm planting seeds all over the place. I'm going to try to do some more collaborations. I'm going to try to do more work with other people. I'm going to work harder and closer with YouTube to see what I can do to do a better job for you, because YouTube made an effort to make it seem like I was really important to them. I don't know if I felt big enough to be as important, because I saw that there were VIPs that were making more money for YouTube, and I felt like I wasn't quite on the same level as them, because I didn't have a partner manager, or I think I'd graduated from it, but then people thought it was crazy, so I'm gonna get a partner manager. I don't know. But if you have 100,000 subscribers or something, you need a partner manager from YouTube. And I can tell you that right now. A partner manager is somebody that can help you with your analytics and your data. It's your connection to YouTube as a job, as a platform. And your partner manager will help you open doors, will help you find events, will help you find a way to do better things. I think the requirement's like maybe 10,000 subscribers or 25,000. I'm not sure what it is, but contact YouTube and send them like snail mail letters if you don't have a partner manager, because that helps you as a YouTuber create a business out of this if this is what you really want to do. If you understand what I just told you, the amount of work that it requires, I'm telling you, if you understand this, then go ahead and try it. I think that you should be bold, and you should be brave, and you should be original. Do not copy someone else's style. Maybe you can to get used to it, but evolve as a YouTuber, evolve as a person, evolve as this is your job, and you're going to find that you're going to create your own audience. I know a lot of, I see. Greg Shepard, looks hot. Get yourself an ice cold drink. You know what? When the phone overheated, I was gonna run to the vending machine, but I just didn't have time. I have to continue. This is really important. But I'm gonna get one. Thank you. I'm gonna get an ice cold water out of the vending machine over there in the corner as soon as this is done. I'm sweating. This is hot. I'm looking back to see if there are any questions. I'm gonna take questions in a minute. Just give me one more thing to rant about. This is sort of a rant. Yes, go get a cold beer. TFP are totally gonna be doing that. All right, couple of last things, and I'm gonna show you my equipment, and then I'm gonna take some questions. It's a lot of work, and the one reason I do this Go channel, this live streaming channel, and I do it as a separate channel because a lot of you don't like it on the main channel, and I understand that. This is a way for me to fill in the Only in Japan brand, not the Only in Japan channel. The Only in Japan channel, this is the way I think of it. Do you guys like music? Do you like music? I think of it as like a beat. If you listen to any really good song, you hear beats. You'll hear like a really heavy beat. I hope maybe the camera's moving, okay? This is the Only in Japan main channel, okay? Twice a month, I'm beating the drum like this, okay? I'm slowing it down because it's only twice a month now. And then on this hand, I got my live streams. Oh wait, hold on. Live streams every day, almost every day. And I have the main channel coming out. I'm hammering my brand, do you hear it? And it's getting faster now. All right, so maybe I'm taking a break from the live stream, but you get the point, okay? Now I'm gonna start a third channel where I get a beat that's a little bit faster with edited videos that are similar to the live stream, but with a topic that you guys that really care about with regards to Japan. And then I'll have a song going on, okay? It's all about having a beat and a rhythm with the viewers, because the rhythm's gonna get you. And I hope it gets to 1 million subscribers soon, because I really want to get there. Now, after I've said that about the subscribers, there's another thing that I want you to understand. Subscribers does not mean everything. A lot of you are looking at your YouTube channels and wondering, how do you get more subscribers? Just because you get a lot of subscribers doesn't mean a lot of people are going to be watching your videos. You get a lot of subscribers, and you have to work your butt off to make sure that you keep them and you build a community with them. Because if you build a community with your subscribers, they're going to be the people who really like what you do and give back to you, like the amazing people that I have on Patreon that support this channel, that support this series. I could not live where I am. I could not support myself without the support of the people on Patreon. Quite simply, it's true. It's as simple as that. And the people who continuously support month after month, whether it's $1 or $15, is huge. Now I have something called the Postcard Club. I'll show it to you. I don't want to even move the camera because it's like overheating. But the Postcard Club is the thing that I think people can afford the most, that I can give back and yet really use that towards making the series and going out further for location shoots. Okay. Subscribers are important, but subscribers are not everything. If you look at my friend's channel, Simon and Martina, they have 1.5 million subscribers, but they have the strongest community in the world, I think. I think that the people who watch their videos, and I've seen the fans, absolutely 100%, not everybody, but like 90% love them. That means they have like 1.2 million people who just love them, like love them. And that is better than having a channel with 10 million subscribers. Do not be shallow thinking that the amount of subscribers you have translates into your popularity. Remember the guy in high school that had a lot of people hanging around him? They only hung out with him because he had, you know, maybe a car or something, but there was always a couple of people that really had strong friendships. I try to make friendships, I try to make a community that's gonna last, all right? And I think that their model is something closer to something that I want than a model that has 10 million or 20 million subscribers, where people are just kind of curious what they're doing. I want people who really love Japan and really love what each episode brings in terms of entertainment value and educational value, and that's the kind of community that I want to model myself after, because you know, I know them. They're like role models to me in many ways. Simon as a husband to his wife Martina, he's a role model to me as a husband. He's Martina's a role model to me as someone who's just like strong. And these are the kind of friends that you need in your life, and the two of them together as creators are the kinds of role models that you want to model yourself after as YouTubers. They love what they do, and you can see it. And I love what I do, and I hope that you guys can see it too. Chris, thank you very much for the super chat. Crypt Shadow writes in, Google wants me to verify everything. Sorry about that. I tried to give Peter a super chat once, and it was really hard, so I apologize if anybody's... I love Simon Martina, but I really admire you, Jen. Thank you. I admire them too. I have some amazing friends here, and I love that they're here because I don't have as many friends as you think, because when you're an expat, people stay in Japan for like... now they're overheating. I turned the screen, got the lighting down, and maybe we'll be okay. We just had the space boat pass, and a lot of people were waving at me. It's so nice to be here on the Sumida River, but in the summer it's just so hot. I'm gonna pick up where I left off, and then I'm gonna move into questions and show you the equipment. The first thing I have to impress onto you is that I did this thing with the drumming. You remember that? Consistency is so critical to you and your audience. Consistency means that you cannot just make one great video and then say that you're gonna have a YouTube channel. You have to do this for years. And I'm yelling at you because I want to impress on the young kids. I'm yelling, it's a fun yell, right? You have to be consistent. There's just no way around it. I mean, if you build up a user base and you don't put up a video for 2 months, then your audience is just gonna go somewhere else. If you cannot maintain your job, then you're gonna get fired, all right? It's the same. Your viewers may love you. You may think that they love you, and I know that they do, but that's like 10% of the people. 90% are just, just like to be part of the group, I think, and they go other places. They don't think about it. It's not their fault. It's your fault. And as a creator, you have to continuously be continuous. It's like I can put it in. You have to continuously bang the drum like this, okay? And when you do this, the viewers get in rhythm with you and your subscribers will increase. If you think you're gonna build a channel and you do it, all right, one of my friends has one of the most amazing channels, but he uploads once every 3 months. It's called My Life Japan. If you're watching this, thank you, My Life Japan. He's a good friend of mine. If he uploaded even once a month, he'd have, I think, 100,000 subscribers. Because he can't do it, because the way he makes the videos is so much like TV, he just cannot do it with his other jobs. So it's hard for him to break out. Now he's coming up with amazing, and I think you should check it out, My Life Japan. If you guys want to see where me and abroad in Japan, another YouTuber collaborated, you can see his story, which I'm in, because we're both friends with this guy. And I'll introduce you to him in a future video, but he's one of the most professional, high quality video content producers in Japan. The problem is that it's just too hard to do what he does, and that's a con to his style. But My Life Japan is the name of it. If you want to see where we collaborate, the two of us, then you can kind of see I'm in the background, and well, look, we all in Japan, and I'm talking about like other YouTubers here in Japan, and this is what makes our channels competitive, is that we are competitive. We like each other, but we're competitive. No one's an enemy, but I know when another YouTuber does the same topic as me, and they know when I do as well, and some people are more consistent, and that's where the differences really take place. But we are all good friends here. Nobody hates anybody. There's not the same type of political climate that we have in the United States, because I know like everything is so polarized. It's not like that here. The people that work with you, the other YouTubers, and this is important for the young YouTubers, your friendships and your connections that you make with other young YouTubers is what's going to sustain you, because 1 or 2 of those YouTubers are going to break out, and then you're going to see who your friends really are. And your friends are the ones that you can still talk to and call to when you need advice. And that's why you keep good relationships with your fans, your viewers, the other YouTubers, YouTube in general. You keep good relationships, and you always keep the door open with everybody. And fostering those relationships is what's going to make you successful in the long run. So I said this in my last video at the YouTube Creators Summit. I might not be where I am forever. One day I might just fall. I might make a mistake. I might do something wrong. YouTube might die as a platform. I don't think so, but there's so many things that can go wrong. It's my friendships. It's my dedication to this job and my friendships that I've made, and the respect of the viewers that's going to continue what I want to do from this point forward. And that's what you can do as a YouTuber starting right now, is to make strong connections with other YouTubers. It doesn't matter what their how many subscribers they have. I have YouTubers contacting me that have 100 subscribers, and I'll give them advice. But the problem is that why aren't they contacting other YouTubers that have 1,000 subscribers? Don't go straight to the top. Go to the other people and try to build your brand. I can't reply to every single email, but I do try. I do try. Consistency, consistency, consistency. Quality, consistency. And there's my quality and the way I make it is so much higher than my consistency, so my show's out of balance, and this is why my show is not at 1 million subscribers now. What you need to do is to find a balance. If I were to lower the quality, it wouldn't be happy to me, but I'd be able to increase my consistency, my episodes, and that would create more subscribers and more views, and it'd be better for the channel. To have 3 episodes a month would be better than 2. To build your brand, and that's the pros and cons of being a top YouTuber, I think. Camera doesn't matter. Story matters. If I don't have a story, it doesn't matter if I'm using 4K professional mirrorless DSLR audio mic, whatever. These are just like add-ons. Story, story, story. If you're not teaching your audience something, if they're not learning something from you, then don't even try. No one's gonna be interested in your life just because you live in Japan. This is what I talk about with copying other YouTubers, okay? There's right now like 10,000 people, I'm just making up a number. It just seems like this. 10,000 people in Japan right now, foreigners living here that think they can be YouTubers and are making a brand off of themselves because they're living here in Japan. Hey, and some of them are even making it smaller and just saying it because they live here in Tokyo. Doesn't even matter if the quality of your video is good. If you're showing Harajuku for the 1,000th time on YouTube, you're not gonna build an audience unless, you know, it's that interesting that people really just wanna watch that. And it's not, because there's too many other people doing that. You have to innovate. You have to create. You have to find ways to look at things. I like to say, in Japanese, we have the number 7, we call it nana. We call it naname, which is diagonally. Now, naname is the way I turn my head. Every time I look at a subject, someone says to do a video on Harajuku, I turn my head this way, and I look at the Japanese perspective, I look at the US perspective, and the Indian perspective, and all the other perspectives, and then I approach it like this because it's an original way to do that, and it's something that nobody else is doing. I tried to pick Kinkakuji and Ginkakuji, and I failed. I think less than 10% of the viewers watched my Ginkakuji versus Kinkakuji video, but I approached it not at saying this is what Kinkakuji is, this is what Ginkakuji is, but I put them together to show you which one might be better and the pros and cons of each from an original point of view. That's the most important thing you can do as a YouTuber. Every time you make a subject, do not look at your life specifically as being so unique that that's the value to the viewer. Your life might be unique, it might be value to some viewers, but the topic is not. We're all special. My mom said I was special. I didn't believe her. I believe her now, more because I'm older, but your topics have to be able to connect with people who don't know you. And this is the thing. If you have 100 subscribers, your viewers don't know you. Your crowd is out there, but you have to tell a story that brings them in. You have to tell a story that brings people in. And this is, for young people, consistency, quality, and picking topics that are not just about you and your life, but picking topics that are about something of value to the viewer. Make shows for you. I don't want to point, I'm going to go like this. It's like a Star Wars Jedi mind trick. Subscribe. Make videos for the viewer, for you. Don't make videos for you. Make videos for you. The YouTube part, which is the you, which is the audience, and they're gonna love you for it, and they're gonna see the value in it. Never make videos for yourself. I think too many creators do that. I turn it off after a minute. I can't watch it. Maybe you can't watch this, but I'm hoping that by me wanting to make this for you, it gives you some value. I see My Life Japan is here. I hear you, man. All right. You can give it a shout out, okay? My Life Japan. Consistency is everything. picking topics. And My Life Japan is a great example of this. He makes topics from experience that are valuable to everyone who's interested about living in Japan, honestly. And it's such a valuable tool, but he has like 8 episodes. So, dude. And he hears me too, so I don't have to say anything. But yeah, I love him, and he's such a good friend of mine. We learn from each other, and I would love to see him become like the 1 million subscriber channel, because I know he'd be a good friend of mine, and I would to him. And we need more friends here. You need as many friends at the top as you can get when you get in YouTube, because the bigger you get, the more people want stuff from you, and the more people want stuff from you, the more you insulate yourself to the people who you know are your friends. And this is another thing that when you get to the top, you have to sort of try to stop to do, meaning you have to keep people at arm's length. I want to help everybody. This is something that's the hardest thing. I got a really soft heart. I break down a lot and I can get tearful, just like right now, thinking about people that write me that are hurting, that tell me that the show inspires them, and I try to respond to everybody. I really do. It's really hard. That in itself is a full-time job, and you cannot respond to everybody. And I asked other creators, how do you respond to your community? And they say sometimes they'll just put a like, a heart button, but every single creator that's successful reads the comments in one way or another and will acknowledge, and they can't respond to everybody. I get, oh my, like thousands of comments and email messages on multiple platforms, and it's just too much for me. Sometimes it's too much for my heart to take the hardships. Some people will share the good things, like passing an exam, and that balances me. But that for me as a person, as a human being, that's been the hardest thing. It weighs, like I want to help everybody. I do want to give a shout out to my friend on Patreon, who has a charity. Like, these are things that I could do more of, but it has to be something that values everybody in the community. A shout out to Keith on Patreon, who wrote to me about a charity for second chance adopted animals, which I know Jennifer is very interested in adopted animals, adopted pets that were thrown away, and then they need a second chance. Let me see if I can give you the link to that. But like, I'm very interested in helping everybody, but I get thousands of messages from people to help everybody. I can make another channel just called Only in Japan Help. Might be something that I seriously, that's something I would consider doing if people cared about it. But then you'd be watching pleas to help other people, and that's really hard. That's really hard on my heart, and that's really hard for a lot of people to see. Because I'm typically, if you meet me, I'm like really high-strung, happy person. Except yesterday when Ren's 3 saw me at the airport, I was a zombie because of things. I'm actually pushing the button to see the message, but this phone's overheating too. I will give you a shout out in other live streams. He's doing an auction for adopted animals, and I want to support that cause. Sorry. If you have any questions, oh, here it is. Okay, sorry. If you have any questions, hold on for 1 second. I want to get Keith's email message. Wow, it's taking forever. All right, go ahead and write me. I have the screen down really low. How are you going to expand, like how many more people? Nathaniel, I really don't know. I have to do with what I can afford and what I can manage. The thing with having external editors is that sometimes you don't have a good match with them. Some of them are not as good or cannot keep up with your requests. Some of them are too expensive. Some of them are cheap, but they can't do what you need to do, so they end up being more expensive in the amount of time that you use. Cameramen are also something that you have to build a trust with. One of the reasons that I was on, so between the years 2009 and 2012, I was on NHK World like almost every week. I was doing a lot of episodes for a lot of different shows on NHK World, and the reason why it's valuable to work with people that are on the show often is because, here it is. Hold on a second. I pushed Nosh Abroad's email. Sorry, Nosh. Is because you know the cameraman, you know the director, you know the producer, and you can look at them and you know what the other person is thinking, and having that kind of synergy, having that kind of connection is so critical. When you have a cameraman that you like, you build a relationship with him, and he knows what you need and can do B-roll when you're getting ready for something else, because you guys trust each other. A team is a team. You got to trust the team. And that's why I was doing so much stuff for NHK World, and now I don't do that because I do stuff for you guys. I'm here on this channel. All right, gosh, this phone is taking forever. I did break the screen. Question and answer, so that's good. I really don't know yet. It's 95 degrees Fahrenheit in Japan with high humidity. Caroline writes in thanks. I'm not sure. John looks like he's dehydrated. I'm getting there. Yeah, some camera peeps don't know what they're doing there. If there was merch, I would buy it. X10, that's a really good question. Merchandise is something I want to do, but merchandise is not something that you have to take lightly. Merchandise, when you start something, all right, when you start something, guys, you have to do it and you have to learn to finish it. It's something that I learned by doing this DVD project for Kickstarter. I've got about 200 people that are waiting for something that I promised and I haven't been able to deliver on. So and you can't do that. You just cannot do that. And that's one of the things that weighs really heavily on my shoulders and on my heart, because every time I see people that are dissatisfied, it breaks me down. Yeah, the DVD, Linda writes in here, and I gotta tell you something, I'm really, really doing the best that I can. The reality is that I just cannot keep up without a team. All right, you got to get in the shade, man. The camera's in the shade. I'll be all right. I think you can do this for another 5 minutes. All right, I'm back on the thing. I'm back on here. You cannot overexert yourself, because once you lose the fun, then you lose the passion, and if you lose the passion, then you lose the purpose and sense of doing what you do. And I don't think I'll ever lose the passion on only in Japan. But right now, I'm really, really strained to the limit. One thing that I guess I could pass on to the young people is the more you edit, the less you sleep. Get 8 hours of sleep. Force yourself to just wake up early and be more productive with the time that you have when you're awake. But you got to get 8 hours of sleep, and I don't do that enough. I get 5 to 5. I got 2 hours yesterday. You have to get enough sleep. You have to love what you do. Merchandise, I want to do it. I just cannot get to it without making compromises. And if I do something, I want to do what everybody else is doing just to give out merchandise. I want something that's sourced from Japan. I want something that's high quality but affordable. I want something that it's not just, has a logo on it. And it's really hard to do that and design it while I'm doing the show, which is so hard to put. You guys know how hard I'm working. But it's something that I will do before in the fall this year. So people, I have kids who want stuff for Christmas. So in the spirit of Santa, I'm gonna get stuff out there. All right, here we go. This is Keith's charity, which I'm gonna try to get behind. He asked me to send him stuff to donate for an auction, and I don't know what to do, what I have of value to auction. Oh man, Patreon app is awful. But I love Patreon. He hates me, help from him, not really everybody. Tony writes in here. Like, I will leave, and then Jim got rid of that. I don't know what I meant anyway. Thanks, Jim. Thanks, Jim. Stay specific with it. Cisco Kids, you could send me a message. I want to try out cameramen and editors, and then see how it goes, but I can't really pay. Cameramen get like between $300 to $500 a day. And actually, that's a lot for me to do these. I always support you, John. You're awesome. Eric is the one who gave me the Las Vegas sign in the background. I'm gonna do a live stream tomorrow, by the way, for Patreon question and answers. So you can see it in the background, as well as Ren's 3 gift, which I'm gonna present tomorrow on Instagram on Patreon live stream Q&A. What else did I want to do with this live stream? So the 3 things are consistency, quality, finding that balance, and relevancy to your viewers. Don't make things that you want to watch, make things that viewers want to watch. I use Google Trend, and I'll search a topic, and if it's trending, if it's something that looks good, I make a video on it, and people go back and look at the live stream about clear Coca-Cola in this live stream format. 250,000 people watched a video that I made because I bought the clear Coca-Cola the day it came out, and I presented it to you before everybody else because I was looking at Google Trends and I found out that there was something that people were interested in. It came out, I made a video, 250,000 people watched it, a live stream. Most of the income off of the last 2 months for ads came off of one video. So look at Google Trends, look at relevancy. Don't make it, my thumbnails don't have a lot of writing on it because the writing takes away from the video. Don't try to imitate other YouTubers that put a bunch of writing on their thumbnails. Give a high-res image and write a good, simple title that draws people in. That's what you gotta do. Don't try to write a book for a title. I do that too, because of search. Don't rely on search. The biggest driver of videos is not search, all right? Search does not drive somebody to your video, not all the time. The most that I get is through suggested video from YouTube. That means tags are important, but that means getting your title is important and putting a description in there that's relevant to other videos of that. But don't go in there with the title trying to do everything for search. It just doesn't work out that way. High quality videos will be shared, and YouTube's algorithm will pick it up more than Google search. All right, make the videos for suggested videos. Don't make videos for Google search, okay? Don't do it like that because it doesn't work out that way. Trust me, I know, I've been experimenting with this 100 times and I've had a lot of, I think I have 20 videos with 1 million views or more. So that's 20% of my videos get 1 million or more views, and I think the reason for it is simplicity and just finding a way to get into suggested videos on a topic that's new that people want to watch and not overdoing it. Don't get too creative. Kong Pao Geek, how can editors help you outside of Japan? This is a good question. Using FTP server, I would probably send video files to you, and it would take you a day to download. I have to be honest with you. My project files can be anywhere between 80 gigabytes to 300 gigabytes. That's why I use 6 terabyte hard drives now. So, I mean, I don't have enough pride that I could say that I could do everything myself. I can't. And indirectly, I've been asking for help, but I'm now asking for help. If you think that you can help me, even on a trial basis, just so I can get some experience of working with other editors. I don't have a lot of money to hire you, but I do get a good funding from Patreon that I can use to make a budget for you, I think. That's why Patreon gives me this money to use it to make better quality shows. And that's what I want to do with it. So if you can help me, please do. I'm working with a company called Toon Boom. Toon Boom is a software company that makes animation software for a lot of the Cartoon Network stuff that you see. Toon Boom is a company that I have a lot of synergy with, and I'm gonna make a video with them, and they're gonna help me make an animated opening to Only in Japan. I'm really excited about this. It's a collaboration with another studio that I know here in Japan that I made really good friends with. I got a lot of friends here, man. I got a lot of friends in Japan, and I'm gonna start to really use them and make sure that I can use my connections to help you guys I'm in the shadow underneath the picnic table, just trying to get the heat down so that it overheated. Thanks for hanging in there for the 200 people here. All right, I'm gonna show you now the equipment that I use. iPhones overheat very easily. There's not really much I can do about it. Cooling pads, I cannot put it on there and balance it with the gimbal in order to make it work out. I tried, but the good thing is that I got a chance to look at some ants that were carrying things that look like that were 10 times body weight. You can see that up there in the middle of your screen. That ant is insane. Okay, so I learned a lot of stuff from just watching the ants while you guys are gone. All right, I'm gonna show you what I use here. This is you see on the table there. That's often what I will take on a location shoot. This is something. This is the gimbal, the Zuijan, whatever #2. It takes forever to balance. Look how big the case is, and unless you have a cameraman or an assistant, it's really hard to take that with you. The camera itself is big. The DJI Mavic Pro is very valuable. It's small enough where I could take. I should probably get an Air, but you just keep wasting money by trying to upgrade every year. The Mavic Pro is good enough for now. This is what I use for the wide lens on my live streams now. It's really valuable. I use a counterbalance weight with some Velcro on it to balance it out. Now I don't have the lens on it. This is my iPhone 6 Plus, which is useful, but it's broken now, so I gotta get a new one. Speedboat! Oh, that's cool. Go, dude! Go! Do it! Oh, that was awesome. All right, this is the bag that I use. You can see me sometimes carrying it along with me. It's big enough where it can fit my lens, my phone, the gimbal, and some other stuff. I'm keeping it really fast because I don't know if this phone's gonna overheat. This is the main bag that I use. It's a porta brace. I love them. They do such an incredible job with space and pockets. In Japan, you have to have a business card. I use this business card and I give it to clients and people. I do not give these out to viewers because it has like my address and stuff on it. So, but these are what you need to give out to clients. If you don't have a business card in Japan, you're nobody, because this is your self-introduction. You're no longer a stranger when you do a business card exchange. Tripod. I'm gonna do another video on this, I think, but I use the Manfrotto B Live, I think it's called. And it's so compact, light, but it's heavy enough where it doesn't shake. It does everything I need. It's smooth enough. It's not perfect. It's far from perfect, but it's smooth enough where I can do some panning shots. I don't know. It's the best because it fits inside my bag for having a smooth head on the thing. This is the GoPro. I just clip this in for a B camera or filler shots or different angles. I put this inside of the toilet in one of the first episodes I made to give really unique views. I use this to come up with new views for you to look at something for the first time from inside the toilet, for example, or inside of a bowl of ramen. You can use that with this. This is a Tascam microphone that you can. How's the above ground? I'm in Hanzum Online right now. I'm trying to go home. Denny, it's so hot, man. I'm like burning up. I'm trying to get through this really fast. Woohoo, Manfrotto, My Life Japan. You got that right. This Tascam is really helpful. It's so small. It takes an SD card, and I can get good audio out of it separate from inside of the camera, meaning I use it as a backup, and if I'm using the iPhone or something else for professional video, you can still get good quality audio. And it's so small. It's just easy to throw in your bag, and it's always there. See here. I just got a brand new light. This is a photo deox light. This cost me a couple $100. The lights, the reason why I use this is because the LED lights are around the side and they point in. And when the light comes out, it doesn't give a shadow, meaning that it looks more like a professional light. You can't do professional lighting because the lights are so heavy and you have to have diffusers on it. Well, with this, you don't have to have a diffuser. It's pretty good like this. You guys saw in the sandwich video, it makes my house look like a studio. I can dim this to like tungsten, like regular daylight, all the way to like super white to yellow. It's pretty cool. It takes the old Sony batteries, and it's so small it fits in my bag, and it's powerful. All right, I need to get a better case for it. Always take care of your equipment. This bag's too big. This bag's too big for most of the stuff if I do it by myself. It's too big. It takes me too much to set up my equipment. But it's small enough where I could carry it. I don't like it. I got to come up with a better way. I got this bag. I got this bag last week. This is called a Temba. It looks like a messenger bag or just a suitcase. It comes off pretty quick. And it fits in a MacBook Pro, which I hardly use because I do everything on a desktop. I can fit a binder with the script in here. I can fit my camera in here. Oh, there's a YouTube bracelet. I was looking for that. I can fit my camera in here, a lens, and I can put the GoPro or batteries and stuff that I want in here, and I carry the tripod separately. I can put in batteries, and I have a microphone. Right now I'm using the Sennheiser AVX, which is really good. I don't have the mic on it. I separate it because it ruins the wire if you always keep it on there. But this is a really good mic that fits into the XLR port. The XLR port is the separate port. I'm going through this really fast just because it might be boring to a lot of people. This is an XLR port. This gets really good audio. You want to have that, and then it gives you some more flexibility with the audio that you take in. It's pro level. Not that the other audio, not having it is still pretty good for YouTube, but I don't like to think like that. When you say for YouTube, I don't think like that. I think for people, and you want to have the highest quality that you can possibly do. That's not the space boat. Drones, you just cannot do better right now than the good old Mavic Pro. Take the propellers off. I just put it on for the photo. I would get the Mavic Air instead of the Mavic Pro right now. You don't need the Pro, and the Air fits in your pocket, for crying out loud. That's too big. I don't take it on a lot of shoots, but it's super useful. I wish I could. Instead, I take this. This is the gimbal that I have my iPhone on, and I'll just use my iPhone 7 plus to do a lot of videos. We got to go. That was pretty fast. Whew. So I'm gonna go inside, get some water. Hey, I didn't know you could jet ski out here. What? Oh man, that's so an episode. That'd be just for me though. That's when you make content for yourself. But I think I can find a way to do it where it's valuable for everybody. That's so cool. I didn't know that. I've seen it out there. I think they're just crazy. Anyways, I hope this is kind of useful, especially for the young creators. Plan your shoots, quality and consistency. Make the best quality that you can and be able to release a video like once a week. Try not to do it every day because you do get burned out. And to be honest with you, you really have to have a super interesting life in order to make a video every day. I just pointed out, I don't think most people's lives are that interesting. My life is not that interesting, so I can't do it. Every day I gotta come up with a topic for the Only in Japan Go channel. That's not so easy, but it is because there's like a million topics. You just have to look at things from an original point of view, naname, from the side, and do things your own way, but do it differently than everybody else. Don't copy another YouTuber's style because that's their style, and you have to find your voice. You have to find your way. You have to separate yourself from the competition. Any questions? Last chance, because I am somewhat getting dehydrated. John will overheat. Like I'm about to overheat, but I think I could take this on for a little bit longer, just for you guys. Anything else? Do you have a car? No. X10 says, ask me if I have a car. I don't have one yet, but it's something that I might buy. That's pretty cool. I love watching the boats. What's your editing setup? I have an iMac from 2015. It was the 5K monitor with the latest Haswell processors. It's getting too old now, but it still runs real good. I think it's only 4 cores. I have about 20 terabytes hooked up to it of data. A lot of it's archives. I just turn it on if I want to go to the archives. I use a Logitech Craft keyboard, which is just awesome. And I have a Logitech mouse. And yeah, it works pretty good. I use SSDs for caching. So the editing software goes better if you have cached stuff separate. All right, I hightailed it back to my house. This is sweat. So sorry, the phone overheated. I overheated and I just like booked back to my house, and now I don't have a gimbal or anything. Everything is overheated. That's why I wear a hat. Look, I really don't have too much more to say. I showed you the equipment that I use, but most importantly to the people that are younger that are asking me this question, you have to be consistent. You have to be have the highest quality video possible, but the story is the most important thing. And finally, you have to find topics that are not just for you, but are topics that more people than just your mother would want to watch. You have to make things that people are curious about, or things that people fear, or things that people are hungry about, or topics like this that connect with people on emotional levels. Not topics are like Asakusa, you know, like walking around Asakusa. That doesn't really connect with a lot of people. It might for people searching for Asakusa, but there's 100,000 other videos on it. I know I can't do anything with the hair. I'm telling you, this is why I wear the hat. It's just, it's too much. It's too hard to control. I'll take the trolls telling me to not wear a hat instead of the trolls telling me to comb my hair. I can't do it. It's impossible. It's not impossible. It's just too much work. So yeah, it looks like I just ran a marathon. I feel like I did too. There's one with John too that he did, but we haven't filmed it yet. Yeah, My Life Japan's doing some great stuff, so just a shout out, check out his channel. I'm going to do a live stream on Patreon tomorrow morning, which is Saturday night in the US. This is for a question and answer for patrons. Patreon is what supports me, supports this channel. You know, if you guys want to go over there, you can subscribe to the postcard club. Oh, and I got all this stuff in Korea that I want to show you on Patreon. Some pretty cool stuff, but I think I have, hold on a second. I didn't really do much with this. Oh, it's so cool in here. It's so nice. So this is the postcard club that I do. we want to get, if we can, 50 more members on there. So every month, I'll send you a screenshot from one of the episodes I did. This is the last one I did. This is from Dogo Onsen, which is the thumbnail, which is beautiful. This is Kinkakuji, which is the Golden Pavilion in Kyoto, and Aogashima. This is a postcard that I sent, Tokyo's Secret Paradise Island, and this is from the table. And I send these out. They're a little bit pricey maybe for a postcard, but the money goes to supporting, and it's a way for me to give back to you. And I do use cool stamps. I think I found they had Super Mario Brothers stamps. They had onigiri, like food stamps, and they always have pretty cool stamps. Hello Kitty stamp was last month, so they always have pretty cool stuff. Cut your hair. I did. Leave the gray. Listen, Alma, you do that, dude. I'm just gonna do what I do, and I really don't mind about my personal appearance. It's enough for me. Cut my hair. This is pretty short. It's just on top. I want to have hair, so it's about being an adult. And you know, Japanese have hair. They don't cut it short like they do in the UK, for example. Everybody has their own hairstyles. Don't judge somebody on their personal appearance. I've already done that too much in my life, in my teens when I was in high school. I think we judged everybody by the way they look. So you just have to do things, you judge people by the way they act and the way that they present themselves and the work that they do. If there are kids watching this, and I do have to go because I'm going to take a shower, cold one. Whatever you do in life, even if it's, if you are going to be a YouTuber, but even if it's like cleaning the toilet, and I've said this before, a lot of kids these days feel entitled, and I think it's no different than kids in my generation too. We felt a little bit too entitled, and the older people would look, so like, look, kids these days don't want to do anything, and that's sort of true. No matter what you do, whether it's cleaning your room, cleaning the toilet, you know, working on something that you don't want to do, being forced to do something, do it better than anybody else. Because if you can make a habit of doing work at the highest level and better than the people around you, you're always going to find a way to grow from it. You're always going to find people who respect you for it, and you're always going to get bigger and bigger, and people will trust in you. Your reputation will skyrocket. So if you're the best toilet cleaner, even though you don't want to clean the toilet, your reputation will skyrocket amongst the toilet industry, and you might get sponsored by Toto toilets. But the lesson is true that I've tried to do throughout my life. Meaning, I try to find ways to economize the way that I work, but I try to work at a high level, and I believe with that, the quality of my content is so that people would feel comfortable sponsoring me, paying me to make videos for them, putting ads in my videos, being a YouTube partner. Things like this I really take seriously, as well as the patrons on my Patreon page, and even the people who paid for a DVD that's not quite there yet. I take this very seriously, and it's all about your reputation. So you do things at a high level and do the best that you can, and never let anybody tell you otherwise if you are doing the best that you can. Just don't use excuses, just do it. That's what I'm trying to do with my life, and I hope that helps you with yours. And be humble. Don't ever say that you're the best, because you're not. There's 8 billion people in this world. You can never be the best. You might be at 1 minute in your life, but you can never be the best, so you always have to work harder at it, and always credit other people for the stuff that they do to help you, because nobody gets to somewhere by themselves. Everybody gets there because of the people behind them. And there are 860,000 subscribers on my channel, and I like to think of it as our channel. And all 860,000 people who push the subscribe button, I believe that I have a responsibility to make good stuff for them. And I take that very, very seriously, and you have to too. If you have 10 subscribers, 100 subscribers, 5,000 subscribers, doesn't matter. Every single one of them is important to you, and they should be people that you respect for backing you, and you have to produce at a high level. And your reputation will go up over consistency and time. You have to be consistent, and you have to keep doing it, and you'll earn respect. And that's when you know that you've reached, that's when you can start feeling comfortable a little bit in your career as a YouTuber. I hope that's useful. 75 minutes, took me to say that. Countless, I gotta drink like countless bottles of water. Linda, thank you. I want to say thank you to everybody. Rojack, you guys can write in where you're from. Hit the like button if you like this kind of content. This one was kind of a long one, but yeah, I really appreciate it. Seki Knives and Nobori Betsu are a couple of my favorite episodes. Thank you, Eugene. The Professor, Iron Sheik, make you humble. That's right. I remember Iron Sheik from WWF back in the 1980s. He was tough. I'd rather go to Disney Sea. I believe that. I think you're talking to Nash. Thanks, everybody. I'm gonna go get some water, but I appreciate it. Stay cool. I mean that figuratively and metaphorically. I'm not sure what those words mean, but it sounds like it was a smart thing to say at the time. So have a good day. Have a good night. I'm gonna do the last 20 seconds looking at this really cool YouTube play button that was in my room that had like all of the YouTube creators on there that I talked to. And each one of these people is very special and very unique and very different in the way that they make YouTube videos. I'll try to hold it steady for you. And I think that you can learn from these people too, as I did. Because I try to learn from everybody. People, I know I don't know everything, but I do know that I can always improve. And all these people have something that I could learn from. And I was really, really honored to be invited to go to the YouTube Creator Summit and learn from these people as well as YouTube directly. Thank you, everybody. Have a good day, good night, wherever you're from. Thanks for the support, and see you next time.